It's Monday, the 7th of May, 2007, and I'm sitting in my boudoir here in Worthing, getting ready, packing to go to the States. It's going to be quite exciting, isn't it? Heathrow Airport, one of the busiest international airports in the world. Paul and I were going to the great US of A, thanks to the wonderful contributions of our listeners, to catch a glimpse of the so-called American way of life, and to find out what all the fuss was about. We caught the first flight to America with United Airlines, the tickets kindly donated to us by Pete Kogel, one of our most generous listeners, and we had a 7.5-hour flight ahead of us.
How much longer?
Although the plane was virtually empty with plenty of spaces for us to stretch out our legs or lie down across several seats if we wanted to, it was long and arduous, and try as we might, we couldn't sleep.
I do worry about it. I do worry about it, man.
Well guys, for the video, we have arrived in Dallas International Airport, and obviously this is Paul, but this strange, quirky character.
Very strange, but very lovable.
That is the amazing John Berger, who has really been our top man here, looking after us. Well, I hope he's going to look after us.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. I'm your secretary for this trip. I must assume the voice. That's right, I forgot, Mr. Vobes.
Yeah, and I can see you're wearing stilettos because you're so high.
You know.
Someone's got to.
Shh. Yes. Get arrested.
Right, so we're at the shuttle bus thing, and here is one now, and we're looking for one that says blue.
Blue lot.
And where will that take us to?
The blue light.
The blue lot car
Oh, the
park.
blue lot car park. Because at the blue lot
here,
car
isn't it?
park
Yes.
is the blue car.
The blue. Well, yeah, actually, it is a blue car now.
This was Paul's first visit to the United States and only my second. We were here for 2 weeks, and I was keen to see his reactions. John Berger, our self-acclaimed social secretary, had been arranging our itinerary, so into his hands we nervously placed ourselves, having never actually met him before and only communicated via the internet. Well, we've stopped briefly to have a cup of coffee. We've just come from the airport, about, I suppose, 45 minutes or so, looking at the wonderful scenery here, and we've just stopped at a classic gas station and bought ourselves a couple of apple pies and a blueberry pie and some Milky Ways, and we're just having a bit of a relaxing time. This trip we really want to catch the heart of America, and okay, we're going to be looking at some of the sort of touristy things, but also just some of the places around here that just represent what the American way of life is and what they do. And so far, with this glorious weather, it's been wonderful. Yes, go-karts. Had we really come 3,000 miles just to have a ride on mini racing cars? Well, not exactly, but it was a way to break the ice, meet some other listeners, and wake ourselves up. Besides, I knew I could whip their asses at this, being a crazy driver myself. Well, maybe. Along for the ride was Paul and Judy Hutchinson and their two lovely daughters, Samantha and Amy.
who turned out to be real mean go-kart fanatics. Okay, so I didn't win. I was, after all, holding a camera and trying to pose the best I could. But we had great fun.
Paul, this is the wall.
Of death.
One slip and you fall on the wall. What a ball.
On the floor.
Another bread on the wall.
So, Paul, you're going to go on the wall, aren't you?
I thought you were going first, didn't you?
I don't know about that. No, we're going on the wall. You're going next, mate.
I'll go on the medium.
Just like to write down.
Now, you might think this would be a cinch. I mean, it's only about 30 odd feet high. But a virtual climb for us untrained couch potatoes would surely test us.
A bit undignified, it is.
So, Paul, you did the wall.
Do the heart.
What was it like, Paul?
It was hard.
Yeah?
On the medium.
Yeah?
It was hard.
Do you feel every sinew in your body aching now as a result of climbing up the wall, or would you just say it was a piece of cake for the British
A piece of cake
team?
for the British. It's time for the hard now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here we are then.
Well, we've arrived at John Berger's place.
Our destination.
It's going to be great. We're going to have steaks this evening.
That dog's looking at us though.
Which dog?
The dog in there.
That big dog, the
That
one with the big
white-
beady
yeah.
eye. Oh my goodness.
God. This is lovely, isn't
Isn't
it?
it?
It's really peaceful around here.
I'm enjoying this.
It's great.
Yeah. Night.
Yes.
Just kiss and get it over with.
There you go. Tomorrow we're going to Mansfield. Mansfield.
We've arrived at John Berger's house and I'm down in the basement. Paul is currently ringing home, checking with his wife. It's about 12:30 at home in Blighty, whereas over here it's about 7:30 in the evening. It's been quite a long day actually, and a bit zonked now. My eye's been okay. It has had a few times where it's been a little bit weepy, but on the whole, I'm actually amazed at how well it's doing. I will need to put my medicine into a little a droplet thing, and not a droplet, into the fridge. Sorry, I'm a bit zonk. We've been on the go-karts, as you've no doubt seen, and we're down in the basement here at John Berger's lovely establishment. I tried to ring home, but unfortunately all my lot are fast asleep. Well, they've all got school tomorrow and Dawn's looking after them now, so I'll send them an email and some pictures, and hopefully they'll get them, and everything will be hunky-dory.
And we're going to a school, aren't we?
Yes. We're going to see the DAT girls tomorrow.
DAT girls, but that's to do with you, isn't it? You have to entertain them or something?
Yeah, I'm #1 fan.
I'll video that. DAT girls. And then we're gonna go to the train depot.
Yeah, we might see a train.
We might see a train.
Unfortunately.
The train mechanic. Yeah, he's got your camera. He's not only got my book, he's got your camera.
That's it.
No, he's terrible. Terrible, man.
It's day 2 in America, and we're in John Berger's car, leaving Mechanicsburg. Don't quite know where we're heading. We know we all sort of got up a bit late this morning, I think, but we enjoyed a very nice breakfast. It was all very lush, and we're heading north towards Mansfield to meet up with Mark Radcliffe, and then we're off to see the DAT girls today. We've had a nice time, boys and girls.
I rather enjoyed them sausages.
They were nice spicy sausages, weren't they?
What's in there? What's they?
They're just regular sausages, but they had some maple flavors.
Right.
Well, we've just arrived at Mark Radcliffe's place, his small little place here behind me. It's pretty big. We're in Mansfield, and this is his place. It's absolutely outrageously vast, and not only is it vast, but the views are just spectacular. This is like absolutely in the middle of nowhere. Now, it did take us a fair old while to get here. A good 3 hours from John Berger's place, but it's spectacular, and what a wonderful and amazing place to be. Hopefully somebody's at home, and Mark may have put the kettle on. Let's go and see. Ah, here's everybody. I thought it was just me and on my own. The kettle is on and there's tea. Hiya, Mark. Mark's not used to this, the British invasion here. I know, Mark, obviously you've come from Manchester, and the listeners and viewers to this have got the audio mix and then video, and I'm having to sort of repeat myself and try and find interesting things to do. Mark, you've made us some tea.
Yeah.
Real tea. PG tea. What do you think of the tea?
It's lovely. It's excellent.
Is it nice tea?
It is definitely, yeah.
And you're not partaking in any of this tea? You've got your eyes...
Root beer.
Yeah, oh well. Fair enough.
I offered, but...
You did,
No,
yeah.
you did.
A nice cup of British tea in a good mug, in a British mug. I mean, it's worth coming to America for, obviously.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, pink is out. So, Mark, this is a fabulous place, isn't it?
Thank you.
We've got some pictures on the website. We've got some audio of us coming along, and I'm just blown over, really, on the capacious nature of living in America. But it's not like this for everybody, is it?
No, I think in areas areas like this, the land values are relatively low, so...
Well, this is something we were saying when we were speaking to John, who's lovely holding the camera.
Hi.
He was saying that his value, he gave us the value of his house, and then he said the value over here is a lot less.
Yeah.
And I said, well, it's just, why don't you just uproot and come here and get a bigger house and have all this wonderful stuff? And he kind of shirked the answer to that.
Well, I would say, at least for this area, it's lack of local, obviously. There's
Right.
no pub
No
within walking
pub,
distance.
yeah, and because he doesn't drink beer, so that's
Maybe that's
yeah,
why it
that's
doesn't
maybe
bother.
why it doesn't bother him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there a lot of work around here?
No, not really.
Ah, right. So
Yes.
what do people do?
Some of them don't work. We do have a high unemployment rate.
So how does that work? How do they get funding? for
There
that?
is a welfare system
Right.
in the US, a very basic one. So they get some funding through that. Some of them will work in like minimum wage jobs, like Walmart, the gleaming lights of Walmart
Right.
on the horizon of Mansfield.
So you put in your 8-9 hour day at Walmart and then live in a palace like this?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Hey! What do you think? Give up trains? Yeah.
Oh.
It's getting a little bit silly now, ladies and gentlemen. I'll leave the boys to their very exciting and intimate discussions whilst we prepare ourselves for the DAC girls.